Hello everyone and welcome to hole number 4, a part 4 of the Greenoch Point on Tournament 9, the Platinum Resorts. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. From the second tee here, we can play this one basically two ways. If we do have some crosswind or headwind, then we play on the right side, putting ourselves in this piece of fairway there on the top right. If we do have tailwind, then we're going to go full blast overpower, bouncing over to the final piece of fairway, having of course a good opportunity to get in there. Now we're going to add 10% to our drive. That's because we're playing downhill and then we need to adjust more. 8.3 we have in wind. We add max numbers with 10% extra. We're not putting ourselves in max distance of our club because the only thing that we're going to look for is to get this ball over to this piece of fairway as easy as possible. The higher up we're going to aim with the driver, the more overpower we're going to have to use. And we do want to stay away from using overpower because that is going to risk getting ourselves into the rough or into the sand. Because that is something that many players will do. As when it is headwind, there is many players going up thinking, okay, now I need to go with overpower. You can see in our opponent here, he doesn't have to use overpower. He can play it like further back, use the top spin on our club and just aim it in, adjust for 10% extra with max number and don't risk that much. Now this shot became really well, but in the end, if we do have to go with overpower, that's always a higher risk than having to play a more straight shot or like normal shot. Now with this situation, we are in many cases going to be in between clubs, and then I'm going to choose the backspin that I do have on my sniper or I do have on my guardian and go directly on the green, because I'm going to say to myself like here, okay, this is going to be hard enough to get this ball to the green, that if we push it too hard, trying to go for the pin by going for a rough bump or trying to bounce before the rough when we're in between clubs, then we are in some of the cases going to get into the rough or into the sand. And then I take away that risk in that case, going with the max adjustment, max backspin, max side spin and some curl. Now I hit it great and we lose some distance, but in the end it put ourselves very close to the pin and then we don't have to risk that much. So important, the drive 10% extra because we're playing downhill. Second shot, we don't add anything for elevation. Important, if you do not have that much backspin with your club, wood club, then you need to play it before the rough to bounce it over. So if you do have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. Here in the end, I want to wish you the best of luck on tour number 9, the Platinum Resorts.